So, will the price of Bitcoin finally break out of this key line of resistance, which is rejecting the price around 17,000 here in the medium short term, and also continue this uptrend? Because we know if that resistance remain, if the price fails to break out of this key line of resistance around 17,000, then we have to be extremely careful, because parallelly we are also forming some bearish scenario for Bitcoin, and that is what we are going to talk in today's video. So before we jump into the content, guys, please try that like button if you haven't done it yet, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. So starting in a bigger time frame, in a monthly time frame, I am going to keep it very simple. In a monthly time frame, we can still see, guys, the price has not ended this capitulation phase. To end this capitulation phase, we have to overcome some resistance which we have right now. I mean the resistance from this long-term falling trend line, and also the resistance from this 200 moving average. Yes, in the past price action, we have found out whenever the price has flipped the long-term resistance into support and also found support above 200 moving average, after that we have ended this capitulation phase. And after ending the capitulation phase, you can see we started with this new markup phase. Here in 2018-19, we had a very similar scenario. Price was clearly in a downtrend, getting rejection from this falling trend line, but once we flipped that resistance into support, price also found support above this 200 moving average. We started with this new markup phase, and in our case, you can see the markup phase has not begun yet. First, we need to overcome some resistance from this long-term falling trend line, and also the resistance from this 200 moving average. Only after flipping this into proper support, only after that we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to end this capitulation phase and also start with this new markup phase. Because in a weekly time frame, the price of Bitcoin is still showing weakness. Yes, guys, the price right now, if you look at this carefully, it is still forming this Wyckoff's distribution schematic 2, and according to this Wyckoff distribution schematic 2, we could be in this phase E. Phase E usually indicates the market here is ready for another sell-off before finding bottom. I mean the price is clearly following this lower highs lower lows continuation pattern, and before we start with this new markup phase like this, first we need to end this distribution schematic and then an accumulation phase, right, before starting a new markup phase like this. So that's why, guys, that's why please be careful, because in a bigger time frame the market still looks very weak. But if we look at this here in a daily time frame, things are turning very interesting for Bitcoin. In a daily, using this Williams alligator indicator, MACD, RSI, T3CCI, we have found out the market could be in another sell-off scenario, because in the past price action, whenever the Williams alligator indicator has showed this bearish crossover, when this blue line starts appearing at the top, green line at the bottom, each and every time whenever we had that, we have seen price reversal, because at the same time MACD was also flashing a bearish crossover, because this here, for example, it's a bearish MACD cross. RSI line went below 50 level, T3CCI indicator in a negative territory. Whenever all these four indicators has confirmed, after that the market has shown this corrective movement. So right now, if we look in our case, this here is another bearish crossover, blue line appearing at the top, green line at the bottom. And if we look here to the downside, MACD is also bearish, because this here is a bearish MACD cross. RSI line has already went below 50 level, T3CCI in a negative territory, also indicating a clear sign of weakness. And you can see in the past price action, whenever that has happened, right, all of this four indicator has confirmed the weakness. The price has showed a retracement which was always above 20 to 25%. You can see after this crossover, the price of Bitcoin retraced 48%. After this crossover here, we retraced 46%. This one was, I think, a bigger one, 60% retracement. This one here was around 22. This one here was around 22. So if we do see another retracement, 22% retracement, since this is a bearish crossover, you can see, guys, the price could be getting attracted here around 13,000 for the upcoming days or for the upcoming month. And if we do see any sort of a relief rally here in the medium short term, we have to overcome this resistance, because in a downtrend the same line is going to act as a resistance, but in an uptrend this same Williams alligator indicator is going to act as a support. Since we are below it, this line which is between 16,900 to 17,000 is going to be a line of resistance. So for the medium short term, 17,000 is very important line which we have to overcome if we want to continue this uptrend. And if you also look at this one scenario which is clearly indicating we have to overcome this resistance around 17,000 before continue this uptrend, because this crypto on a buy sell indicator is also rejecting the price at this current stage. You can see exactly after reaching this indicator we are facing resistance. Yes guys, so if we do manage to overcome this resistance into support in the medium short term, which is going to be between 16,900 17,000 range, then we are expecting the price of Bitcoin also to continue this uptrend at least towards 17,500 before choosing a trend direction like this. And why around that area? Because we know the price of Bitcoin is parallelly also forming this inverse head and shoulder and broadening wedge. These are considered as a bullish scenario, but for this bullish scenario to play out, the price has to overcome the resistance which we have around 17,000. You can see the neckline is lining exactly around 17,000. So if we do break out of this resistance, 17,000 resistance, then we are going to break out of this crypto on a buy sell indicator. We are also going to break the resistance from this Williams alligator indicator for the medium short term, right? And also continue this uptrend at least towards 17,500 before choosing a trend duration like this. So that's why in the medium short term 17,000 is a very important resistance for us. And also let me show you what in case if that resistance remain and price also fails to continue this uptrend here like this. I mean, invalidating this bullish inverse head and shoulder, broadening wedge, and price also continuing this downtrend here like this. What is going to happen in that case? In that case, we are going to look at this formation. This is a very simple formation, also known as bear flag. Yes, during a downtrend, the price was clearly showing this movement here like this inside this ascending channel where the upper line was rejecting the price. You can see the upper line was rejecting the price, lower line was holding the price. But in our case, you can see we have already broken the key line of support, and since then we are also clearly in a downtrend. So if this is going to continue and price is also going to fail to break out of the 17,000 resistance in the medium short term, then you can see we could be getting attracted below 15,000 according to this bear flag. And if we do see any sort of a movement here to the upside, price breaking the resistance around 17,000, then we know 17,500 is going to be looked as our potential target, because if that is going to happen, then you can see the price of Bitcoin might be coming back to retest the previous temporary support line. Yes, this line in the past price action was a very important line of support, and this is exactly where we could be getting gravitated before price chooses a trend duration. That's why I showed you with this inverse head and shoulder that around 17,500 is where we could be heading before price chooses an actual trend duration. And not just only this, guys, not just only this, even if we simply look at this formation here, I mean, if we simply follow this trend line, the price here is forming this so-called head and shoulder type of formation. Let me show you that here. So before we talk about this head and shoulder formation, guys, just a friendly reminder, if you haven't destroyed that like button, if you have forgotten to destroy that like button, then please do it right now. And if you want to support me further, then a comment would be much appreciated, because a comment and a like is definitely going to boost the algorithm of the channel and also boost the motivation for me to create content like this in a daily basis. So if you look at this one here, the price of Bitcoin is also forming this so-called broadening wedge, but inside this broadening wedge we have this head and shoulder formation. Head and shoulder formation is considered as a bearish continuation pattern, and according to this bearish continuation pattern, if the price fails to break out of this 17,000 resistance here, then we could be forming this right shoulder. We did talk about this yesterday. Price could be getting rejection around this right shoulder around 17,000, and breaking this neckline will also trigger another bigger sell-off, and in that case you can see the price could be approaching below 15,000 for the upcoming days or maybe for the upcoming month. But for the immediate short term, if we do break the resistance around 17,000 to support, then we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to show a movement here like this, right? At least towards 17,500 before it chooses a trend direction. So that's why, guys, that's why we want the price of Bitcoin to break out of this key line of resistance at any cost around 17,000, because breaking the resistance around 17,000 means the price is going to break out of this resistance from this crypto Anup buy sell indicator, resistance from this Williams alligator indicator, and also the resistance from this inverse head and shoulder neckline area. Yes, and that could trigger a bullish movement around 17,500 before it chooses a trend duration. But if it fails to continue this uptrend, then we know the price is forming some bearish scenario also parallelly. So these are some of the quick updates that I wanted to share with you in today's video. If you enjoyed my work, then please, guys, please destroy that like button, and for those individuals watching this the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.